Sometimes the truth reveals itself no matter how hard you try to hide it. A phone screen showing security camera footage dated April 18th at 2:30 p.m. reveals my son-in-law Brian at the door with a blonde woman beside him, and they're kissing as they open the door with his own key. With my key. In my house. This is me, Vincent Murray, 73 years old from Phoenix, Arizona. And this image changed my life forever, because that woman isn't my daughter Sarah, but a complete stranger. And Brian, my trusted son-in-law, is using my house as a love nest, 14 times in 2 months, with 14 different women. If you want to hear real stories of betrayal like this, please subscribe to the channel for real people, real cheating, and real justice. Sometimes the most innocent-looking requests are the most dangerous ones. My name is Vincent Murray, and I'm 73 years old, living in Phoenix, Arizona, though I actually have 2 homes, one in Phoenix and one in Flagstaff by Pine Lake, which is my vacation home. I'm retired after working for 38 years as an engineering professor at Arizona State University, which gave me a good career and a good retirement. My wife Margaret died 4 years ago in January 2019 from pancreatic cancer that came fast and took her just 3 months after diagnosis. She was 69, which was too young and too soon. We had 45 years of marriage after getting married in 1974, when I was 24 and she was 23. And then I was alone for 4 years in a quiet house with an empty bed and coffee alone in the mornings. But I had my daughter Sarah, who is 42 years old. My beautiful and smart daughter, who went to Arizona State for business administration and now works as a marketing manager at a company in Scottsdale. She's married to Brian, and they've been married for 8 years since 2015, with Brian being 39 years old and working as a sales director at a tech company with a good job and good salary. I thought he was a good guy who was polite and thoughtful, treating Sarah well and being a good father to the kids. I have 2 grandchildren, Emma, who is 6 years old in 1st grade and very smart, and Noah, who is 4 years old in preschool and full of energy. They live in Scottsdale, 30 minutes from my Phoenix home, in a nice neighborhood with a nice house. And I was happy, because my daughter was close by, and I could see my grandchildren often, once a week, and sometimes more. February 2023, the 14th, was a Tuesday and a normal day when I was sitting at home in the Phoenix house reading a book, living my comfortable retirement life. The phone rang, and it was Brian, my son-in-law, saying, "Vincent, hello, how are you?" "I'm fine, Brian, and you?" I replied. "Fine, Vincent. I want to talk to you about something important," he said. "Ask away, son," I said, because I call him son since Brian is like that to me, like a son, Sarah's husband, family. "Vincent, Sarah and I were thinking that you live alone in your Phoenix house. And what if something happens like an emergency, a fire, an earthquake? It happens in Arizona. Or what if you fall? Sarah's at work and I'm at work and we don't have a key, so how would we get in?" he explained. I paused to think because it made sense, it really did. "What are you suggesting, Brian?" I asked. "Would you give us a spare key to your house just for emergencies? We'll keep it in a safe, but if something happens, we can get there fast," he said. "Especially me, since I have meetings in Scottsdale during the day. So I'm closer than Sarah, 30 minutes. And I can get there fast," he added. I thought about it, and Brian was right, because I'm 73 years old living alone, and something could happen like a fall or a heart attack or anything. And if they had the key, it would be safe because they could get in during an emergency. "Okay, Brian, good idea. Come by tomorrow and I'll give you the key," I agreed. "Thanks, Vincent. I'll come by tomorrow afternoon after work," he said. The next day, Wednesday, Brian came at 4 o'clock wearing business attire in a suit. "Vincent!" He hugged me with a warm hug, saying, "Thank you. This gives us peace of mind because Sarah was very worried about you. Tell my daughter not to worry because I'm fine, but it's good to be prepared," I said. I gave him the key to my house, a spare key, a simple metal key. Brian took it and put it in his pocket, saying, "Vincent, I promise I'll only use it in a real emergency because I respect your privacy." "I know, son. I trust you," I said. And I really did trust him because Brian was a thoughtful son-in-law, a good son-in-law, or so I thought. Time passed and life went on with normal routines. April 2023 arrived with spring bringing very hot weather to Arizona, around 40 degrees Celsius. I went for a walk every morning around the neighborhood for 30 minutes for my health. I have good neighbors, including Rita, the neighbor woman who is 70 years old and widowed after her husband died 5 years ago. She sits by the window watching the neighborhood and knows what everyone is doing. The neighborhood gossip, but kind-hearted. April 24th, Monday. I was coming back from my morning walk when Rita was in her garden watering the flowers. "Vincent!" "Good morning," she called. "Good morning, Rita. Beautiful morning," I replied. "Yes, Vincent, I want to ask you something," she said. "Ask away," I responded. "Does Sarah come often to visit?" she asked. "Once a week, sometimes more often. Why do you ask?" I said. Rita stopped and looked strange, saying, "Because I've been seeing Brian's car a lot for the last 2 weeks, but I don't see Sarah." My heart skipped a beat, a slight small skip, and I said, "Brian, he's been coming?" "Yes. I saw him 3 times last week on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. His car is in front of your house, but you're not there. So are you in Flagstaff?" she asked. "No," I said slowly. "I'm here in Phoenix." Rita frowned and said, "But you're not at home at those times in the afternoon around 2 or 3? "I'm usually shopping or at the senior center." "Yes," I explained. Strange. Brian comes but doesn't see you. So what's he doing inside?" she wondered. "I don't know, Rita. Maybe he's dropping something off from Sarah, or I don't know," I said. Rita leaned closer and spoke softly. "Vincent, it's strange to say, but last Thursday, Brian came with someone." I froze and asked, "Who?" "A woman, blonde, young, in her 30s. They went in together kissing," she revealed. The world stopped, literally stopped. "Kissing?" I asked in disbelief. "Yes, at the door. Then they went inside and stayed for an hour before coming out kissing again," she confirmed. I forgot to breathe as my chest tightened. "Rita, are you sure?" "Maybe a work colleague or a real estate agent or something," I suggested. Rita shook her head firmly. "Vincent, I'm 70 years old, and I know what kissing looks like, and this wasn't business kissing, it was romantic kissing." "But Rita, Brian is married to Sarah, my daughter," I protested. "I know, Vincent. That's why I'm saying it, because something is wrong," she said with concern. I thanked Rita and walked home, but it wasn't walking. It was stumbling because my feet were numb. I went inside and sat down on the couch with my hands shaking. Brian, my son-in-law, was in my house with another woman, kissing her. No, Rita must have seen wrong because Brian isn't that kind of man. He was a thoughtful son-in-law who loves Sarah and loves the kids. But why would Rita lie? And what would she gain from lying? And why is Brian coming to my house without telling me when he said it was the emergency key, but there was no emergency? I thought long and hard for hours. Then I decided I had to investigate and find out the truth. Because if Rita was right and Brian was cheating on Sarah, cheating in my house, then I have to protect my daughter no matter what it takes. The next day, Tuesday, I went to Best Buy, the big electronics store, and went to the security camera section where a young guy was working. "Can I help you?" he asked. "I want a door camera that records video that I can watch on my phone," I explained. "I can recommend the Ring Video Doorbell, which is the most popular with easy setup where you watch it with the app, and it has video recording and motion detection," he suggested. "What does motion detection mean?" I asked. "It detects movement, So when someone approaches the door, it automatically starts recording, and the video is stored in the cloud so you can watch it whenever you want, he explained. Perfect. I'll take it, I decided. Would you like installation? That's an extra $150, he offered. Yes. Can you install it today? I asked. Tomorrow morning at 9, he said. Okay, tomorrow at 9, I agreed. Wednesday morning at 9, the technician arrived, a young man about 25 years old. He installed the Ring doorbell next to the door, a small camera that doesn't stand out. Mr. Murray, the installation is complete, so now let's install the app on your phone, he said. He loaded the Ring app onto my phone and showed me some. Look, here's live view where you can see your door live right now. I pressed it and saw my door on the screen in live view, which was incredible. And here's video history, which shows all the recordings because motion detection records every movement. Someone comes, the camera starts recording, and the video is stored in the cloud, he explained. How long is it stored? I asked. 60 days, then it gets deleted, but you can download it to your phone to store it permanently, he answered. I see, thank you, I said. The technician left and I was alone with the phone and the camera. Now I had to wait to see if Brian would come, and if Rita was right. That day, Wednesday, Brian didn't come as I watched live, but Brian wasn't there. Thursday, Brian wasn't there. And Friday, Brian wasn't there. Maybe Rita had seen wrong, or maybe Brian wasn't coming anymore. But then came Monday, May 1st, in the afternoon when I was at the senior center playing bridge, which is a card game I play every Monday at 2 o'clock. 3:30 came with a notification on my phone. Ring. Motion detected at front door. I opened the app to see live video of my door where Brian was there getting out of his car, but he wasn't alone. There was a woman, a brunette with an athletic build wearing leggings and sportswear, in her 30s. They were walking to the door, walking very close together. At the door, Brian takes out the key, my key, and opens the door. Then he turns to the woman and kisses her at the door with a long kiss. They go inside and the door closes. My hand shakes and my phone almost falls. Rita was right. Absolutely right. Brian was coming to my house with other women and kissing them. I quit the bridge game saying, I'm sorry, I don't feel well, I need to go home. I drove home fast in 15 minutes when it normally takes 30 minutes. I got home, but Brian's car was gone, which made sense because an hour had passed since the camera notification. I went inside and looked around where everything was normal and nothing was out of place and clean. But I went to my bedroom and looked at the bed where the covers were neat, but the pillows were a little askew, different than usual. They had slept in my bed. I felt sick and ran to the bathroom where I threw up. I couldn't sleep that night at all because I lay there, but my mind wouldn't stop thinking about Brian and the woman and my house and my bed. 4 o'clock in the morning came, and I got up to sit in the living room. I picked up the phone and opened the Ring app to check video history. I pressed it, and the list came up with dates, times, and videos. I scrolled backwards, starting with May 1st, today, and there's a video of Brian and the brunette woman, April 29th, Saturday. There's a video of Brian with another woman, a blonde in her 30s, entering while kissing. April 27th, Thursday. There's a video of the blonde woman again on her second visit. April 25th, Tuesday. There's a video of the brunette woman on her first visit. I kept scrolling for more and more videos. April 22nd, Saturday. Had no video because the camera hadn't been set up yet. But Rita said, I saw her 3 times last week on April 18th, 20th, and 22nd. So she was coming before the camera was set up. But the camera was set up on April 26th, Wednesday. And after that day, there were videos on April 27th, 29th, and May 1st. 3 videos in 4 days with 3 different women. No, 2 women, with the blonde twice and the brunette once. I stopped to think because the camera was only there for a week, with 3 videos showing 3 visits. But Brian had the key for 2 months since February 15th, and today is May 2nd, so that's 2.5 months. How many times did he come and how many women were there? Rita said, I saw him 3 times in the last 2 weeks, which means 3 visits in 2 weeks. So 1 or 2 visits a week over 2.5 months equals 10 weeks, which could be 20 visits or maybe more. And how many women? I saw 2 on camera, but maybe there were more. My stomach churned again, though I didn't throw up because it was empty anyway. What should I do? Should I call Sarah saying, honey, your husband is cheating on you in my house with more than 1 woman? No, not yet. Because there are only 3 videos, and is that enough when Brian could deny it saying, just friends, work friends, a misunderstanding? I need more proof, more videos, more details. And I need a private investigator for professional investigation to find out who these women are, what they're doing, and what Brian is saying to them. Yes, the plan is clear. I need to wait and collect more videos and hire a private investigator. And then I need to tell Sarah, but first I need to tell her the whole truth. May 3rd, Wednesday, I searched online for private investigator Phoenix, Arizona. Many names and firms appeared, and I chose Price Investigations, discreet, professional results. I called and heard Price Investigations, Alan Price speaking. Mr. Price, my name is Vincent Murray and I want a private investigation, I said. What kind of investigation, Mr. Murray? He asked. About my son-in-law, Brian Cooper, because I suspect he's cheating on my daughter, my wife, my daughter, with more than 1 woman, I explained. I see. Can we meet because it's better to talk face to face? He suggested. Of course, when? I asked. This afternoon at 4:30 at my office? He proposed. Sure. What's the address? I agreed. He gave me the address in downtown Phoenix at an office building. I was there at 4:30 on the 3rd floor where Price Investigations was written on the door. I went in to find a small, clean, professional office. Alan Price was around 50 with a medium, athletic build, short hair, and a serious face. Mr. Murray, welcome. Have a seat, he said. We sat down across from his desk. Tell me about your son-in-law, Brian Cooper, and what you suspect, he said. I told him everything, handing over the key, what Rita saw, the Ring camera, 3 videos, 2 women, and maybe more. Alan listened while taking notes, then asked, Do you still have the videos? Yes, on my phone, and I can download them, I confirmed. Good. Send them to me by email now, he instructed. I sent them 3 videos, and Alan watched them carefully. Mr. Murray, this is serious cheating with multiple women using your home in a planned, systematic way, he observed. I know. That's why I'm here, because I need more information about who these women are, what Brian is telling them, and how many women there are, I said. Understood. A full investigation. Is a week enough? He asked. A week, yes, I agreed. Fee is $500 a day for 7 days, totaling $3,500 plus expenses, he stated. It was expensive but necessary for my daughter and for the truth. Okay, accepted, I agreed. Good. I need Brian's address, workplace, and routine, he said. I gave him the information. Brian's home in Scottsdale, his workplace at the tech company downtown, and his car, make, model, and license plate. Alan said, I'll follow him from morning to night to see who he meets, where he goes, everything. And if he comes to my house, my Phoenix house, I asked, then I'll take pictures and videos of who comes and what they do because I'm gathering evidence, he confirmed. Perfect. When do you start? I asked. Tomorrow, May 4th, Thursday, starting in the morning, he said. Good. I'll be waiting, I replied. I left the office feeling a little relieved because I was getting professional help and the truth would come out. A week passed from May 4th to 11th, Thursday to Thursday. I watched the Ring camera every single day. May 5th, Friday, Brian came at 3 with the blonde woman on her third visit, staying for an hour. May 8th, Monday, Brian came at 2:30 with the brunette woman on her second visit, staying for an hour and a half. May 11th, Thursday, Brian came at 4 o'clock with the blonde woman on her fourth visit. Total, 7 videos in 1 week with 2 women, blonde 4 times and brunette twice. And that day, May 11th in the evening, Alan called. "Mr. Murray, the report is ready. Can I bring it tomorrow and we'll talk at your place?" he asked. "Of course, what time?" I replied. 11 okay? He suggested. "Okay, I'll be waiting," I agreed. May 12th, Friday, at 11 o'clock, Alan came with a thick file in his hand. "Come in, Mr. Priceful," I said. He came in and we sat in the living room where I brought coffee. Alan opened the file and said, "Mr. Murray, I followed Brian Cooper for a week, and the findings are disturbing." "Tell me," I said. "Brian is seeing 3 different women regularly and systematically," he revealed. 3? I only saw 2, so I asked, "Who's the third?" Alan pulled out a photo. Name, Sofia Delgado, 29 years old, bartender who works at a bar on Central Avenue. I looked at the photo of a brunette with long hair, a pretty woman. Brian meets her on Saturday afternoons, usually not at your place but at Sofia's apartment, though once at your place on May 6th, Saturday, at 3 p.m., he explained. May 6th, Saturday. I checked the Ring camera and yes, there's video of the third woman, Sofia. "The others?" I asked. Alan pulled up more photos. Blonde is Ashley Monroe, 27 years old, fitness trainer who works at a gym. Brian meets her on Mondays and Thursdays, usually at your place at 2 in the afternoon, he continued. Brunette is Jennifer Park, 32 years old, marketing manager, and Brian's co-worker, he added. Brian meets her on Tuesdays and Fridays, usually at your place at 3 in the afternoon, he concluded. My head was spinning because there were 3 women, 3 separate women, 5 days a week. Monday with Ashley, Tuesday with Jennifer, Thursday with Ashley, Friday with Jennifer, and Saturday with Sofia. "This is a schedule, a full schedule," I said in disbelief. Alan nodded. "Yes, Brian is a professional deceiver with a separate day for each woman, no overlap, carefully planned." "And do these women know that Brian is married?" I asked. Alan pulled a piece of paper from the file. "No, none of them know. Brian told Ashley, 'I'm a corporate lawyer, I'm single, I'm looking for a serious relationship,'" he read. To Jennifer, he said, "I'm divorced with 2 kids, but I don't live with them," he continued. To Sofia, he said, "I'm an entrepreneur starting my own business. I'm single, I'm open to a relationship," he concluded. All lies, complete lies, he summarized. Anger welled up inside me for the first time, real anger, and I said, Brian is lying to all of them, hiding that he's married, hiding Sarah, hiding the children. Yes, and he's using your house as a love nest because his own house is in Scottsdale where Sarah is, which is risky, but your house is in Phoenix, where you're at the senior center during the day or shopping or out, so the house is empty, making it the perfect place, Alan explained. How many times did he come in 2.5 months? I asked. Alan turned the page. Estimate, 14 times, maybe more. But what I know for sure is 7 times in the last 2 weeks after your camera was set up. 14 times with 14 women, no, 3 women but 14 visits, I calculated. Yes, 5 times with Ashley, 6 times with Jennifer, and 3 times with Sofia, he confirmed. I was silent, thinking about my daughter Sarah at home with her kids, while her husband goes out every day saying, business meeting or client meeting, when really he's sleeping with other women in my house. Mr. Murray, Alan said, one more thing about Brian's phone and the messages. How did you get them? I asked. Technical methods, no need for details, but there are messages with all 3 women, all romantic saying I miss you and can't wait to see you, And last time was amazing, he revealed. He writes the same thing to all of them. Writing lovey-dovey things to all of them, he added. My stomach churned again, and I said, "That's enough, Mr. Price, enough. Leave the report, and I'll pay your fee." "Understood. The file is yours with everything in it. Photos, videos, messages, dates, times, everything," he confirmed. "One more thing, Mr. Murray. A word of advice. Before you tell Sarah this, make a plan, because this will be devastating for Sarah after 8 years of marriage with 2 children, when everything turns out to be a lie," he cautioned. "I know," I said quietly. "I know, that's why I have to be careful. But first I have to confront Brian and stop him." "How will you stop him?" Alan asked. I thought quickly about a plan. "A trap," I said. "I'll trap Brian so I can see it with my own eyes. Then I'll confront him, and then I'll tell Sarah with proof." Alan smiled slightly. "Good plan, Mr. Murray, and if you need help, I'm here." "Thank you, Mr. Price. Now I have to prepare for Saturday, 2 days from now, when everything will come out," I said. Alan left, and I was alone with the file containing photos, videos, and reports. I read every page carefully. Brian Cooper, 39 years old, sales director, married to Sarah Murray Cooper with 2 children, Emma, 6, and Noah, 4. Seeing Ashley Monroe, Jennifer Park, Sophia Delgado, 3 women he's lying to, all of them. Using Vincent Murray's Phoenix home with emergency key 14 times in 2.5 months. Each visit, an hour or 2 in the bedroom with video recordings and photos existing. Evidence. Sufficient. More than sufficient. Usable in court and in a divorce case. But first a confrontation with Brian, face to face. I planned it for Saturday, May 13th, when Brian meets Sophia on Saturdays, usually at Sophia's apartment, but maybe he'll bring her to my house. How can I guarantee it and get Brian to my house? I had an idea to call Brian. "Brian, can you come to my house in Flagstaff on Saturday afternoon? Because I need help moving some old stuff out of the garage." What will Brian say? "Sure, Vincent," or "Sorry, I'm busy"? If he says "I'm busy," then he's with Sophia and won't come, so the trap won't work. But if he says "sure," then he'll cancel on Sophia and come to Flagstaff, so the trap still won't work. No, I need a different, better plan. Not Flagstaff, but Phoenix. "Brian, I'll be here Saturday afternoon at my Phoenix house. Can you come by at 2 because I need help moving boxes in the garage?" 2 o'clock is Sophia's meeting time. So what will Brian do when he can't do both? He'll either cancel on me or cancel on Sophia. If he cancels on me saying, "Sorry, Vincent, I'm busy," then I know he chose Sophia over me. But if he accepts saying, "Of course, Vincent," then he has to cancel on Sophia, or he tries to combine the two. How? He brings Sophia to my Phoenix house secretly, thinking Vincent is old, he won't see, he won't notice. Yes, that's possible because Brian is bold and arrogant, thinking Vincent is stupid and old, he won't understand. Okay, the plan is clear. Saturday morning I'll call Brian saying, "Come at 2. Then I won't be home and my car won't be there either because I'll park 2 blocks away, so Brian will think Vincent isn't home and think opportunity. And he'll bring Sophia to my house without my permission, and I'll watch from neighbor Rita's house through the window. Then I'll quietly return, go in, and catch him. Yes, a good plan, risky but necessary. Because before I tell Sarah, I have to see it with my own eyes because video isn't enough. I have to see it myself. And Brian has to look me in the face it, and be ashamed. Saturday, 2 days later, everything will come out. May 13th, 2023, Saturday. The day has come, trap day. I woke up at 8 in the morning, though I hadn't slept much, maybe 3 hours. But I was awake, very awake from the adrenaline. I made strong coffee and drank it while looking out the window at the sunny day with Arizona sun that's going to be hot, maybe 40 degrees. 9 o'clock came, but I needed to call Brian, though it was too early. Saturday morning at 9 is too early and he'll be suspicious. 10 o'clock is better, so I called. Hello? Brian's voice sounded sleepy, just awake. Brian, morning. It's Vincent, I said. Vincent! Good morning. How are you? His voice changed to awake and cheerful, fake cheerful. I'm fine, son. Brian, are you free today? I asked. Today? Well, did something happen? He replied. There are some old boxes in the garage with Margaret's things that have been there for 4 years, and I need to move them because they're heavy. Can you help me? I explained. Of course, Vincent. When? He agreed. This afternoon at 2 o'clock. Is that okay? I asked. He paused, a slight pause, very slight, but I noticed it. 2 o'clock? Well, I had something planned, but I'll cancel it for you, he said. I smiled inside because just as I thought, he had plans with Sophia, but he canceled, or he'll combine the two. Thanks, Brian. Be here at 2 at the Phoenix house, I confirmed. Okay, Vincent. I'll be there at 2, he agreed. I hung up and the plan was working. Brian was coming, maybe with Sophia, maybe alone. But if he came alone and really had canceled on Sophia, then the trap wouldn't work and there would be no confrontation. No, Brian wouldn't cancel because he's arrogant and bold, thinking, I'll fool Vincent, I'll bring Sophia, and Vincent won't know. I waited patiently. 11 o'clock came and I called Rita, my neighbor. Rita, it's Vincent. Are you okay? I asked. I'm fine, Vincent. And you? She replied. Fine, Rita. I have a favor to ask. This afternoon at 2 o'clock, can I watch my house from your window? I requested. Watch. Why? She asked. It's a long story, Rita, but it's about Brian. What you saw, you were right, because Brian is coming with other women, and today I'll catch him, but first I need to watch from your window, I explained. Of course, Vincent. Of course. Be here at 2 o'clock and I'll make coffee, she agreed enthusiastically. Thanks, Rita. Thanks a lot, I said gratefully. 1 o'clock came and I got ready, getting dressed in comfortable but clean and neat clothes. I grabbed my phone fully charged with the Ring app open and live video ready. I grabbed my wallet with Alan's business card inside in case of emergency. I walked out the door, got in my car, and drove away from my house to park 2 blocks away on a side street under a tree where I was hidden. I walked to Rita's house and went in the back door where no one saw me. Rita was waiting. Vincent! Come to the living room where the window overlooks your house with a clear view 30 meters away. We went to the living room window and I sat down while Rita brought coffee. So Vincent, now tell me what happened, she said. I told her briefly about Brian, the 3 women, 14 visits, misuse of the key, and the private investigator. Everything. Rita was shocked. My God, Vincent! Is Brian that kind of man? Does Sarah know? No, she doesn't know yet. But today she'll find out today. Though first I'm going to catch Brian and see it with my own eyes, I explained. 1:55 came and we waited quietly by the window. The street was quiet on Saturday afternoon, with neighbors inside and air conditioners running because it was hot outside. 2 o'clock arrived, exactly 2 o'clock. A car was coming. Brian's car, a gray Honda Accord. Rita said, "Here it comes." I looked carefully as the car approached, slowing down and stopping in front of my house. Brian gets out wearing shorts and a t-shirt in casual clothes. But he's not alone because the passenger door opens and a woman gets out. A brunette with long hair wearing jeans and a blouse and sunglasses. Sophia, the woman in Alan's photo. Sophia Delgado. Rita exclaimed, "There!" A woman. A woman with him. "I see her, Rita. I see her," I confirmed. My heart raced really fast with anger, but cold, controlled anger. Brian looks around left and right, sees no car and no Vincent, and relaxes. He says something to Sophia and he's laughing, relaxed and carefree. They walk to the door where Brian takes out the key. My key. He stops at the door, turns to Sophia, and kisses her at the door with a long kiss. Then he opens the door, they go inside, and the door closes. Rita said, "I can't believe it. He has a date with you, but he brought a woman." "Arrogant," I said. "So arrogant because he thinks Vincent's an idiot. It doesn't matter." "What are you going to do now?" she asked. "I'll wait 15 minutes while they're inside relaxing, and then I'll go in and catch them," I explained. I took out my phone to check the Ring app with live video showing the door where Brian and Sophia entered, and the video was recorded. 2:15 came after 15 minutes passed. "Rita, I'm leaving now. Thank you for everything," I said. "Be careful, Vincent, because Brian can be wild and aggressive," she warned. "Don't worry, I'm calm. It's just a confrontation," I assured her. I left Rita's house and walked to my own house slowly and calmly. I reached the door, took out the key, slipped it quietly into the lock, and turned it slowly. The door opened and I entered quietly. It was quiet inside, but there were sounds from the bedroom, low voices and laughter. I took out my phone and opened the video recorder and voice recorder. I walked down the hallway to the bedroom where the door was ajar. I stopped and listened. Brian's voice. "You're so beautiful, so beautiful." Sophia's voice. "You too. And this house is a beautiful house. Is it yours?" "Yes, it's mine. An investment property for rent. But it's empty now," he lied. A complete lie because it's not an investment, not for rent. It's my house where I live. I took a deep breath, then opened the door wide. They're in the bedroom, Brian and Sophia, in bed, in my bed, still dressed, but close, very close, kissing. I stopped at the door and looked, watching silently. Brian noticed, lifted his head, looked, and his eyes widened. He froze, literally froze. "Vincent!" It came out like a scream of fear. Sophia turned and looked at me. "Who is this?" Brian jumped up. "Vincent! You shouldn't be here. At 2 o'clock, the garage?" "Yes, Brian," I said calmly, very calmly. "I said 2 o'clock and you came, but for the wrong reason." Sophia got out of bed. "Wait a minute. Who is this Brian? The landlord?" "Yes," I said. "I'm the landlord, Vincent Murray. And this is my house, my bedroom, my bed." Brian's hands went up in the air. "Vincent, please, I can explain." "Explain?" I laughed bitterly. "Yes, Brian, explain to me and explain to Sophia, because this is the third woman, Ashley on Mondays and Thursdays, Jennifer on Tuesdays and Fridays, and Sophia on Saturdays. The Ring camera recorded them all. 14 visits in 2.5 months with 3 women in my house without my permission," I revealed. Sophia looked at Brian in shock. "3 women? Are you seeing other people?" "No, Sophia, no, he's lying," Brian stammered. "Lying?" I pulled out my phone with the Ring app showing video history to Sophia. "Here are the video recordings with Ashley, with Jennifer, with you, all of them with dates and times." Sophia looked at the screen, watched, and her face changed, turning bright red with anger. "You lied to me. You said you were single. You said you were an entrepreneur," she shouted. "Sophia, Brian tried. "And the house isn't yours. It's this man's house. You stole the key. You used it," she screamed. "No, he started. "Smack!" Sophia slapped him hard and Brian's face turned. "You bastard! You lied! Everything was a lie!" she yelled. Sophia dressed quickly, grabbed her bag, ran to the door, and left with the door slamming. The sound of a car starting and driving away. And she was gone. Brian and I were left alone. Brian sank to the floor and sat on the edge of the bed, burying his head in his hands. Vincent, Vincent, I can explain, he started. Explain, Brian, I'm listening. Explain to me how you cheated on my daughter, your wife of 8 years, the mother of your 2 children, with 3 women 14 times in my house, I demanded. Explain to me how you asked for an emergency key saying, for Vincent's safety, when really you wanted an adultery key and an affair house, I continued. Explain, I commanded. Brian cried with tears streaming down his face. Vincent, I'm sick, a sex addict who needs therapy, but I love Sarah, I swear I love her. Liar, I yelled for the first time. Liar, Brian. If you loved her, you wouldn't cheat. Cheating with 1 woman is betrayal, but 3 women 14 times, that's not love, that's despicable. Brian shook his head. You're right. You're absolutely right. I did a terrible thing. And you lied to all of them. You told Ashley you were a corporate lawyer. You told Jennifer you were divorced. You told Sophia you were an entrepreneur. None of it is true because you're a sales director who's married with 2 children, I exposed. I hired a private investigator, Alan Price, who found out everything. Who these women are, what you told them, how many times you met. Everything, I revealed. There's a report with photos and messages saying, I miss you and can't wait to see you. You write the same thing to everyone, the same love lie to everyone, I said. Brian froze. A private investigator? You had me followed? Yes, because I have to protect my daughter Sarah from your lies and from your betrayal, I confirmed. Vincent, please, please don't tell Sarah because it'll destroy her. And the kids, Emma and Noah. What about them? He begged. I stepped closer and looked into his eyes. Brian, this is your fault, your choice. You cheated, you lied, you destroyed this family. And now there are 2 options, I announced. Option 1, I tell Sarah everything by showing her the videos, the photos, and the private investigator's report. And Sarah will divorce you with a custody battle where you will lose the children and may never see them again, I explained. Option 2, you tell Sarah today, tonight, everything. 3 women, 14 times, my house, everything. And you file for divorce, I continued. You give Sarah full custody, you agree to pay alimony, you agree to pay child support, and you leave my family alone, I concluded. Brian looked at me in shock. You want me to leave Sarah? Yes, because Brian, you don't deserve Sarah. You're a liar, you're a cheat, you're untrustworthy, I stated firmly. Sarah deserves better and the kids deserve a better father, I added. And if you don't leave, if you keep hurting this family, I'll expose everything to everyone. Your family, your friends, your workplace. Everything, I warned. The choice is yours, Brian. 1, I tell and you lose everything. Or 2, you tell and it's a controlled separation where you keep seeing the kids, but you leave Sarah, I summarized. Brian cried loudly. Vincent, this isn't fair. I can change, I can go to therapy, I love Sarah. No, Brian, it's too late, way too late. If you loved Sarah, you would have been faithful 8 years ago, but you weren't because you slept with 3 women 14 times in my house, I countered. Trust is gone, the relationship is over, the marriage is over, I stated. Now choose right now, 1 or 2, I demanded. Brian bowed his head in a long silence before finally speaking in a hoarse voice. 2, the second option. I'll tell Sarah tonight. Good, smart choice. Now go, get out of my house, and leave the key on the table, I ordered. Brian took the key from his pocket and put it on the nightstand. A metal key, my key. Go, Brian, and don't ever come back here, ever, I said firmly. Brian got up, walked to the door, and turned one last time. Vincent, I'm really sorry. Tell Sarah you're sorry, not me, I replied. He left and walked out the door, and the sound of a car driving away followed. I was alone in my house, my quiet house. I sat down on the couch with my hands shaking as the adrenaline was fading and exhaustion was setting in. But it wasn't over yet, because I had to call Sarah and prepare her, since Brian would tell her tonight. And Sarah would be devastated. 3 o'clock came after an hour had passed with Brian gone. Should I call Sarah, or should I wait for Brian to tell her? No, I have to prepare Sarah, but not on the phone. Face to face at her house. I called Sarah. "Hello?" "Dad," she answered. "Hello, sweetheart, how are you?" I asked. "I'm fine, Dad. How about you?" "Brian was supposed to help you today with the garage boxes. Are you done?" she said. "Yes, I'm done." "Sarah, are you free now? Are you at home?" I asked. "I'm at home, why?" she replied. "Can I come over?" "We need to talk about something important," I said. Sarah paused with worry in her voice. "What's wrong, Dad?" "Is there a problem?" "Yes, sweetheart. A very serious problem, but not over the phone. Face to face, I'm coming in half an hour," I explained. "Okay, Dad, I'll wait, but I'm really worried now," she said anxiously. "I know, I'm sorry, but it's necessary. See you soon," I said. I got in the car and drove to Scottsdale to Sarah's house, which took 30 minutes with light traffic on Saturday afternoon. Sarah's nice big house with 3 bedrooms and a nice yard appeared, and I got to the door and rang the bell. Sarah opened it right away. "Dad!" She hugged me with a worried hug. "What happened?" I was so worried. "Let's go inside, sweetie, and sit down," I said. We went inside to the living room where Emma and Noah were watching TV and cartoons. "Emma, Noah, Grandpa's here," Sarah announced. The children ran over. "Grandpa!" They hugged me. "Hello, my darlings, how are you?" I greeted them. "We're fine, Grandpa." "We're watching TV," Emma said, since she's 6 years old and talkative. "Good. Emma, Noah, now Grandpa and your mother are going to talk, so will you go to your room and play with your toys?" I asked. Sarah looked at me and understood it was serious business that the kids shouldn't hear. "Come on, kids, upstairs to play in your room, and then we'll play with Grandpa," she said. The kids left running upstairs. Sarah and I were alone and sat on the couch. "Dad, what happened?" "Tell me because I'm really scared," she said. I looked at her, my daughter, my 42-year-old daughter, a beautiful, smart woman who thought she was happily married. How could I tell her and break her heart? "Sarah," I said slowly, "it's about Brian. Your husband, Brian." "Brian? What happened to him? An accident?" she asked with alarm. "No, my daughter, not an accident, but it's something very bad that you need to know," I said carefully. "Tell me, Dad, please, I'm going crazy with curiosity," she urged. "Brian is cheating on you with other women, with more than one woman," I revealed. Sarah froze literally as the color drained from her face. "What did you say?" she whispered. "Brian is cheating on you with 3 women, Ashley Monroe, Jennifer Park, and Sofia Delgado. All 3 are with Brian regularly," I explained. Sarah shook her head. No, that's impossible. Brian loves me and he's faithful to me." "You got the wrong information." "No, sweetheart. It's definite information because Brian is using my house, my Phoenix house. He has the key, remember? He asked for it in February for an emergency," I reminded her. "But it wasn't an emergency. It was a cheating house where Brian comes every week bringing different women, 14 times in 2.5 months, I revealed. "And I set up a Ring camera in April that recorded everything, so there are videos and photos," I continued. "And I hired a private investigator, Alan Price, who followed Brian. And there's a report with everything in it," I added. I took out my phone. "Here, the Ring app with video recordings. Watch." Sarah took the phone trembling and opened the videos. First video, Brian and Ashley kissing as they enter. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. "No." Second video, Brian and Jennifer kissing again. Sarah started crying. "No, Dad. No." Third video, Brian and Sofia from today, an hour ago. Sarah dropped the phone and cried out loudly. No, this can't be. Brian can't do this. I hugged her, my daughter. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm so sorry, but it's true. Brian did it. Brian cheated on you. Sarah cried on my chest for a long time. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Finally, she stopped, wiped her face, and looked at me. Dad, are you sure? Are you certain? I'm certain, my girl, because there are videos. There's a private investigator's report, and today I saw it with my own eyes. Brian came to my house with Sophia, and I caught them and confronted them, I confirmed. What did he say? She asked. He confessed everything. 3 women 14 times, saying I'm a sex addict and I need therapy, but it's too late, I reported. Where is he now? She asked. I don't know. Coming home, I think, because he'll tell you tonight. I forced him by saying, either you tell her or I will, and he chose to tell her himself, I explained. Sarah nodded. I see. So Brian is coming tonight to confess. Yes, I confirmed. And then? She asked. Then divorce my girl because there's no other way. The trust is gone and the marriage is over, I said gently. Sarah cried again, but this time silently. 8 years, Dad. We've been married 8 years with 2 children. How does it all end? I don't know, daughter, but Brian ended it, not you. He cheated, he lied, he's the guilty one, I said. And you're innocent, you're faithful, you're a good mother and a good wife, I assured her. Brian didn't deserve you. You deserve better, I added. Sarah shook her head. What will I do, Dad? You'll get a divorce and hire a lawyer and ask for full custody so the kids stay with you while Brian pays alimony and child support, I outlined. You'll move into my house with you and the kids in the Phoenix house because it's big enough with 3 bedrooms and a yard, and the kids will love it, I offered. But Dad, your house, your peace, she protested. No, daughter. My greatest peace is you and my grandchildren, being with you, helping you, and protecting my family, I insisted. Brian will leave you, but I'll always be here, I promised. Sarah hugged me tightly. Thank you, Dad. You're always there for me. Always. Always, my daughter, always, I confirmed. I left Sarah's house at 6 in the evening. Dad, stay here because when Brian comes, I want you with me, Sarah said. No, my daughter, this is your conversation between Brian and you, and I shouldn't be here, but I'll wait by the phone, so call me anytime, I said. I returned home to Phoenix, to my own home. I ate dinner, but it had no taste as the food wouldn't go down. I sat in the living room with my phone in hand, waiting for Sarah to call. 7 o'clock passed, then 8, then 9. The phone rang at 9:30. It was Sarah. Hello? I answered. Dad. Her voice was broken from crying. Brian came and confessed everything. What did he say? I asked. He said, Sarah, I need to tell you something terrible. I cheated on you with 3 women for 2.5 months, and your dad found out and caught me today, she recounted. And I yelled, how could you do this to your wife of 8 years, the mother of your 2 children? How? She continued. Brian cried, saying, I'm sick, a sex addict who needs therapy, but I love you, I swear I love you, she reported. I said, if you loved me, you wouldn't have cheated. Go, Brian, go now, and don't come back, she explained. Brian begged for one more chance, please, for the kids. But I didn't listen and said, go, my lawyer will call because we're getting divorced, she concluded. Brian left after packing his suitcase while the kids were asleep and didn't hear a thing, she added. And now I'm alone with the kids in my house, but I don't have a husband anymore, she said sadly. 8 years gone in one night, she concluded. I listened to my daughter and her pain. My daughter, I said, tonight you're alone, but tomorrow you're not alone because I'm here, always. So come tomorrow with the children to my house because this is your home now." "Thank you, Dad. We'll come tomorrow morning," she agreed. "Good. I'll be waiting. Good night, my daughter. I love you," I said. "I love you too, Dad. I love you very much," she replied. I hung up and sat for a long time. Today was a long, exhausting, emotional day, but a necessary day because the truth came out. Brian's mask fell off, and Sarah was freed. And now a new life will begin with Sarah and my grandchildren living with me, safe and protected. Brian is gone and he won't be coming back. 2 weeks have passed and it's May 27th, 2023. Sarah and the kids are living with me in the Phoenix house for 2 weeks now. Emma has her own room, Noah has his own room, and Sarah is in the guest room, but they're comfortable because they're home and they're safe. We have breakfast every morning together as a family. Emma goes to school by bus, and Noah goes to preschool with Sarah taking him. We cook dinner in the evenings. Sometimes I do it, sometimes Sarah does it, and sometimes we order takeout, but we eat together. The kids are happy, surprisingly happy, saying, "We live with Grandpa. It's great." They ask about Brian. "Where's Daddy?" Sarah told them simply, "Daddy lives somewhere else, but he loves you, and you'll see him on weekends." The kids accepted it because kids are flexible and adapt quickly. Sarah is struggling and cries sometimes at night in her room where I hear her, but she's strong, keeps working, goes to work, and takes care of the kids. And she hired a lawyer, a female lawyer who's a divorce specialist named Lisa Harper. May 27 today, Lisa is coming to us at the house to talk. She arrived at 2 o'clock, a woman in her 30s with a serious face and professional demeanor. "Sarah, Vincent. Hello, I'm Lisa Harper," she introduced herself. We sat in the living room where I served coffee. Lisa opened a file. "Sarah, I'm preparing your divorce case by gathering the necessary information, so now let's discuss our strategy." 1. Custody. You want full custody with Brian having weekend visitation, but only supervised under adult supervision, she outlined. "Why supervised?" Sarah asked. "Because Brian isn't reliable as a deceitful liar, and who knows if other women come to his house when the children shouldn't see that," Lisa explained. 2. Alimony. Brian will pay $3,000 a month for 5 years, she continued. 3. Child support. For 2 children at $2,500 a month until they turn 18, she added. 4. The house. The Scottsdale house is joint property that will be sold with proceeds split in half, she outlined. 5. Brian's behavior. Cheating with Ring video recordings and private investigator report as evidence that we'll use in court, she concluded. "Will Brian object?" I asked. Lisa shook her head. "I don't think so because, Vincent, your evidence is too strong with the videos, photos, and report, so Brian will lose and he knows it, which means he'll offer a settlement." "When will it be over?" Sarah asked. 6 months, maybe less, because divorce is quick in Arizona, especially uncontested divorce, Lisa answered. "Good," Sarah said. "The sooner it's over, the better." Lisa left, and Sarah and I were alone. "Dad," Sarah said, "these past 2 weeks you've been so helpful by giving us a place to stay and supporting us, and I don't know how to thank you." "Don't thank me, daughter, because it's my duty as a father to protect you and protect my grandchildren," I said. And Brian calls once a week saying, "Sarah, please, one more chance, face," and I don't answer. "But should the kids see him?" she asked. "Yes," I said. "The kids should see him because he has parental rights, but supervised where you or I should be there so Brian shouldn't be alone." "Okay. Next Saturday, Brian can come here to my house for 2 hours with the kids while you and I watch," she agreed. "Good plan," I confirmed. 6 months later, in November 2023, 6 months have passed since that Saturday when I caught Brian. The divorce was finalized in October when the court approved it, leaving Sarah free and Brian free. Custody. Sarah has full custody with Brian seeing the kids every Saturday for 4 hours, supervised by either me or Sarah. Alimony. Brian pays $3,000 a month regularly. Child support. Brian pays $2,500 a month regularly. House. The Scottsdale house was sold in September for $450,000 split in half, giving Sarah $225,000. And Sarah still lives with me in the Phoenix house with the kids. Dad, I should move out because we're bothering you, she says sometimes. No, I say. You're not bothering me. You're making me happy because this house was quiet and lonely, but now it's alive and full of family. Emma and Noah run around every day laughing and playing, and Margaret would be so happy that the house is full of grandchildren, I add. Are you sure, Dad? She asks. I'm very sure. Stay here as long as you want. In fact, you can stay forever, I insist. Sarah smiled. Maybe a little longer, and then we'll find our own place, but now we're happy here. Neighbor Rita comes every day to drink tea and talk. Vincent, you're a hero who saved your daughter and saved your grandchildren, she says. I'm no hero, Rita, just a father who did his duty, I reply. But where is Brian now? She asks. I don't know and I don't care. He sees the kids on Saturdays and that's it. Because he's out of our lives now, I say. Rita smiled. Good. Very good. And is Sarah happy? She will be because it takes time since 8 years of marriage isn't easy to forget. But every day it gets a little better as she's starting to laugh and going out with friends. And life goes on, I observe. And it really does go on because Sarah is a strong woman, a strong mother who is resilient. Emma loves school, has friends, and is a happy girl. Noah is finishing preschool and starting kindergarten next year, which makes him excited. And I'm never alone because the house is full of sounds and full of happiness. The Ring camera is still at the door, but now it's just for security, not to catch infidelity. The neighbors learned the story, which Rita told them, I think, and many neighbors had Ring cameras installed in their own homes. Thanks to Vincent, they say, trust but verify. Today is May 2024, and a year has passed since I caught Brian. I'm 74 years old, and I'm healthy and I'm happy. Sarah and my grandchildren are still with me, and maybe they'll stay forever, or maybe they'll find their own homes. But I don't know, right now we're happy together. Brian sees the kids once a week, comes regularly, pays alimony, pays child support, and tries to be a good father. But there's no trust, and there never will be. Sarah has started dating, meeting new people slowly and carefully, and she's moving on with her life. Dad, she says, maybe one day I'll remarry, but I'm not rushing because the kids come first, and you'll always be part of our family. Always my daughter, always, I confirm. If you liked this story, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts about this story in the comments. Click on the box on the left to listen to the next story.